Tom Silverstein. He covers the Packers, beat reporter for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. How's morale in Green Bay?
That's a good question. I think people are just glad it's over. I think everybody knew it was going to happen, and I don't think anybody didn't think it was going to happen before the draft. And we were all just sitting here twiddling our thumbs, waiting to see, what the final result was going to be. And finally, we got it.
And I think the Packers did pretty well getting what they got for a guy that they didn't want anymore. How would you
Yeah, I
assess?
mean, I asked around the league. I have, some personnel people from other teams, and I just kind of surveyed them. And, some said this is about what they predicted it would be, and others said they thought the Packers fleeced the Jets.
Oh,
I, I'm probably somewhere in between that. I think the big thing is that the Packers got a good pick next year, and it is sort of a loss for the Jets if Rodgers is one and done. If Rodgers plays 2 years, then it's a pretty good deal for them.
and I'm guessing if he does play 2 years, plays this year and more than 65 snaps, you're going to get the Jets' first-round pick next year. It gets upgraded from a second to a first. That would be later in the first round, so it's not going to be, a top 15 pick.
Correct. It's not. And, the only way that it could be decent is if, history repeats itself, which it seems to at every turn. And that's that, Rodgers plays and then hurts his biceps, tears his biceps, like Favre did. And then, he plays the 65 and then he's done. So who knows how it'll play out. But you're right. I think it's going to be at best a middle round pick and more than likely a late pick.
All right, Jordan Love, come on down, front and center here. What do we know about him, given that he's started one game?
Not a whole heck of a lot. I mean, I've had the chance, as a beat guy, I've had the chance to watch him in practice and training camp mostly. From the minute he got there to where he is now. And he has made tremendous progress. I mean, maybe that's more of a reflection on how bad he was early on. I mean, I think bad is a relative term, but I think he was just inexperienced and they had to remold him into a pro quarterback after what he had done at Utah State. So I think he's got all the tools. It's just, that you need tools and then you got to perform. And that's what we're going to find out.
How does this go wrong?
If he's a total bust, I mean, if he's a bust, then, they're going to give him the 5th-year option. He's going to make $20 million next year. He's on the roster. So if he's a bust, they don't have a future. I don't think they're going to draft anybody in the first round. And I don't think anybody in the 4th or 5th round is going to wind up being a savior. So that's where it goes. Then they're starting all over from scratch.
What do the Packers do with that 13th pick overall Thursday?
Yeah, that's a good question. I know everybody wants them to draft a wide receiver, and I'm like, stop it. Stop it. They don't take wide receivers in the first round.
How about a tight end?
Yeah. And I think, I mean, if I were them, I would take an offensive tackle. Their left tackle is, on his last legs. He's still a good player, but, they've got to get ready for the future. But on the other hand, I was also thinking, the Patriots and the Jets behind them need offensive tackles. Someone may want to jump up to 13 and try to get a tackle. So move back and then take a tight end at the end of the round and keep accumulating picks. I think that's how you build around Jordan Love.
Are you going to miss the drama?
Oh, you know what? I was thinking about this, Dan. I'm like, this is probably the last time we're ever going to talk because I'm not going to be around when Jordan Love finishes his Hall of Fame career. So,
well, if the Packers aren't any good, I'll call you, Tom. And if they're really good, I'll call you.
I don't know what I did wrong in my life to get Favre and Rodgers, to have to cover both.
But you survived. You survived both of them.
I did. But I guarantee you I will not be around for the end of Jordan Love if he's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
At their best, who was better, Favre or Rodgers?
I've always sided with Favre, because if there was a guy I wanted in the fourth quarter of any game to win it, he was going to be it. I mean, I think I would take him in a New York minute because of that. And, Rodgers is the most efficient, maybe more talented than Favre. But, when I want to win a game, I want somebody who's not afraid, who's daring. And that's what I thought Favre was. And I thought he won with less. I mean, a lot of people think Rodgers didn't have the tools, but Favre had less than Rodgers did, much less.
I don't know if you needed to say New York minute there, but that's okay.
Yeah, that was probably
Tom, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Okay, it's my pleasure always.
Tom Silverstein. He covers the Packers for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel.